you get one person, and then because one person's already attached, other individuals, they go, okay, well, like they're willing to put their money into it, so now we'll put our money into it. So it's just this weird snowball effect. But point being, I think if you're looking for financing, it just comes down to simple business principles. What is it you're selling? What is it you're seeking to make? um, and don't forget.
Am I painting the picture correctly if I say that, and I just want to see if I missed a step or if there's something else that kind of came into play. You kind of jumped into the world of acting. You started writing, which is what a lot of actors kind of realize. And while you're acting, you're meeting people on the larger sets, and but even like you mentioned on some of these smaller films where they're a bit more intimate and people are a bit more open. And
Mhm.
that was where you, I guess, opened the door to who you could select as a potential producer. Um,
Mhm.
and Now, is that sort of the thread, or was there more to it than that? Because a lot of people will say, well, there's also the distribution part of it and the money part of it. But
Mhm.
was it really just that the producer was the linchpin for those things, or did you have other elements of that fabric to weave on your own?
So let's break it down. It's a good question. Let's break it down. So I want to separate distribution and financing, because distribution is actually not even taken care of yet. I'm Again, I don't want to go too specific with this, but this movie was financed as of now mostly by friends and family. And I was actually doing some digging. I learned that Francis Ford Coppola's first two pictures were financed by his friends and family as well. And I know a lot of people whose family has, um, you know, supported them and helped them out with the project. So, one, I'm just so incredibly lucky to have people who would do that for me. Um, and yeah, and that's kind of my own luck and based on my own circumstances. But in terms of finding financing through other means, I'd like to say, in terms of filmmaking, there is no one way to do it. Like, there's no path, like one given path. It doesn't exist. um and I would encourage people to try and find that liberating. um and but in terms of finances, I honestly, what it really boils down to, if I didn't have, the blessing of incredible family and friends, um, it boils down to the script, the script, and then, you know, like any business pitch, just, you could make a PowerPoint presentation of anything else you want to be specific about, what your vision is. I think it really boils down to securing financing. Really just boils down to your ability to convey your vision, your ability to bring, potential investors into this thing that you're trying to bring into the world. And I think in relation to that, um, even they do this a lot in business, like being specific about a target audience, because if you think about it from an investor's point of view, like if one says their target audience is people over the age of 65 versus teenagers, one just inherently has a much higher opportunity of consumption. um, so things like that matter. um, yeah. And then yeah, like financing, from stories that I've heard, it's like, you get one person, and then because one person's already attached, other individuals, they go, okay, well, like they're willing to put their money into it, so now we'll put our money into it. So it's just this weird snowball effect. But point being, I think if you're looking for financing, it just comes down to, simple business principles. What is it you're selling? What is it you're seeking to make? um, and don't forget that, you do business with people. Obviously keep yourself in mind, and Also keep in mind, yeah, the same thing. How does your intuition feel about the people that you're potentially doing business with?
Yeah, it's kind of like
I hope that's
the more real you can make it for people before it's even made,
yeah.
with whatever angle you're taking. And I mean, I know, like you said, it's a blessing when you have people that can back you up financially, but you wouldn't have that if you didn't have a script that people can, see is a good script, or you wouldn't
Hmm.
have that if you didn't have people around you that are going to help, that those investors, really believe are going to be able to get the job done. And that was one of the
Hmm.
things I discovered when I was pitching in Los Angeles years ago. The reason there's so much BS, and hopefully it's not, and I'm not saying it is in your case, but I just, when I was down there, there's a mix of, reality and BS. But the reason it's there, I think, in a lot of cases, is that people are trying to make things look as done for you as possible. So whatever they're asking, let's say an investor or a producer, when it comes to getting them involved, they don't feel like the person's coming with like a paragraph of an idea on a piece of paper saying, "Don't you think that's a great idea? I really want to make it." But
Hmm.
the inverse of that is, here's a script. I already have this A-lister attached. I already have this producer interested. I already have
Hmm.
this distributor. If you put your money into this, it's basically a guaranteed, almost a guaranteed return. I mean, granted, nothing's guaranteed, but you can see how much I've already built. And that is kind
Yeah.
of the sales process of making someone go, "Oh, I'm not the first one in either. So you only need a little piece and I get to be involved in this thing you've already built." You want to give someone that feeling rather than feeling like they're standing there in their underwear. The only one holding on a piece of paper is not a place anybody feels very comfortable as an investor or as a producer or a director. So the involvement you get has to do with how much confidence you build around it. At least that was what I felt. And so, yeah, even though you had the friends and family, you still had to go out there and build something that people would believe in, so they feel confident in what they're doing. And obviously you did that, which is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a script. I think like Hitchcock said, like where does a good movie start? What are the first five things a movie needs? And he said like the script, the script, the script, the script.